Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's market caller. How are we doing? Welcome, everyone, to the Thursday market caller, where we look at the indices market. Yes, US30, NAS100, Dow Jones, and also S&P 500. And after which we look at the commodity asset class to see opportunities in that asset and how we can make a do with them. All right, quickly, we'll be looking at the market. I'll be sharing my screen. We'll look at some opportunity we have this morning and then how I can take advantage of those opportunities. All right, do well to share this Zoom link to as many as possible. All right. Okay, let's go. So, for those watching on YouTube, sorry we've not been able to track your comments, but we'll try as much as possible to just, go through YouTube comment and then answer them probably into the New York session. I mean, the one 2 o'clock, right? So let's start with US30 this morning. Something really interesting has been happening on US30. Last week, we are going to buy US30, but then price just reacted a bit from our zone and then continued its movement. I was going to buy US30 from somewhere around here. No, somewhere around here, or stopped out and then just looked at what happened. Price stopped us out and then we continued the initial rally to the upside. I knew the market was ripe for a buy. That's on Tuesday, but then, the entry was just the problem. Price wicked us out and then, continue its original direction. We had like a chaos yesterday. US government shutting down and all of that. That reacted a bit the market, but then not so much of reaction because as you can see, the market is still in a very solid place. So guys, what are we looking at this morning? What are we looking at this morning? On the daily time frame, we are still bullish. We are very, very much bullish, right? But then on the 4-hour time frame, let's look at what is happening. On the 4-hour time frame, price actually tried to break structure, which it actually did. But then look at what is happening now. We've seen a break of structure above here, right? And then we've seen a second break here, right? Broke structure the first time, of course, with a week now, but a weak break of structure is still regarded a break of structure, right? So this is what I'm looking at this morning. Price has broken structure here, right? And then we saw the second one, yeah, second BOS just here. That is telling me that this area looks really good. I'm just waiting for some sum of inducement and then I'm going to take trade with that. This area really looks good. On the 4-hour time frame, this is another block that's not been tested before, right? Let me come down to the 1-hour time frame. On the 1-hour time frame, inside that other block, there's another block that's not been tested before. And now with even inducement, right, which is this, right? So has not been tested before. And then we have a form of inducement just below, beneath here, right? So it's pretty much clear for me today where I'll be taking my trades from, right? Overall, I want to use limit order. I'll just place limit on the 4-hour order block and then up we go, higher we go, right? Which is just to do this. But then the SL will be too much. I mean, the risk reward might not make a whole lot of sense. This will be the first take profit. 1 is 1.5 doesn't really looks good. And then overall take profit 1.24. Right? For somebody that wants to swing trade, probably this would be good enough. But I mean, I'd rather refine and then want to take that trade from this entry. 1 is to 9. I can really this level 1 is to 9 properly. This is 1 is to, I think 1 is to 11 or 10. Okay, 1 is to 14. Interesting. But let me make sure I'm arranging everything properly, right? Week to week. I'm going to use this other block week to week. This serves as inducement, and then my entry is from this zone. My SL just below it. 1 is to 14. All right. So this looks like a very good trade for me to want to risk. Of course, the first take profit will be this zone, right? This liquidity here, and then that's 1:9. If price breaks above it, continue to push aggressively, then we can target this external liquidity here, which is 1:14. All right, this is what I'll be looking out for today, because what the market is bullish. Technically speaking, fundamental in the market is a bit neutral, right? A bit neutral. But then if you look at seasonality chart of the US equities, especially US30, you see that October is a month where we expect much rally, right, in the market. So one thing that's also concerning for me now is, would even price want to come back to this entire zone before we see that continuation? I don't know, but I really hope so, right? Because even with what I'm seeing here, this is the first break of structure that happened here to the upside, right? Even what I'm seeing here, if we use our fib to measure the retracement, this looks as a good discount level for us to buy from. The level is between 61.8 and 78.6. It's a very good discount level to buy from, right? So if that is true, then we should expect price to reject from this zone. A form of rejection should happen from this zone, a form of rejection, right? Now, will I hold all the way to full TP 1:14? I don't know. Probably if I'm not on the chart, might just allow it play out fully. But if I'm on the chart, I'll secure some profit and then allow the rest to run. All right. So, but this is what I'm looking at for today on US30. Let me look at 30 minutes, see if there's area of significant kind of, okay, this area really looks good. It has not been tested before. Look at this other block candles. It's a morning star now. This 3 type, 1, 2, 3, right? It has not been tested. This could have been a very good place to enter the market, but then price has tested it, has mitigated the other block, right? Mitigated the other block fully, and then that created this continuation to the upside, right? So, but then let's see how the market reacts today into next week, because after today we have Friday and then Monday again. But this is what I'm looking out for. All right, let's go to S&P 500. On the daily, we are what? We are bullish. S&P is very bullish. Look at that. This area we marked out right before all of this drama happened, right? If you're a swing trader or a position trader, it's just that the IRR wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. You're looking to do 1:1, 1:1.5, right? But then if you have a very like 99% win rate, then that makes sense for you to take trades like this, right? Because we just marked that we know this other block was fresh, and then price hasn't mitigated it in a way, right? Strongly, right? We just have a minor mitigation here, not up to 50%, not even up to 20%, and then price dug into it. It's currently pushing to the upside. Now we see a clear break of structure to the upside, right? So there could either be a form of retracement into this level, and then we continue the sell, right? So on the 4-hour time frame, let's look at what the market is doing. On the 4-hour time frame, this looks really good. This looks really good, right? In the sense of price haven't mitigated this zone. This zone here. You can see price haven't mitigated this zone, this other block, very fresh, and then a form of inducement underneath it. And then look at another thing. We have a break of structure already. This break of structure that I marked out on the daily time frame. So this is looking like a good, buy setup for me in the market this morning. Let's go to 1-hour time frame to see if we can have some other levels. Okay. There are multiple ways to look at this. So this morning, this other block has been mitigated. This has been mitigated, right? Except once you use the 4-hour block. But then we can use another form of entry, which is our box pattern kind of entry, right? Which is marking this level. It's marking this level here. A sweep, a break to the upside, of course, break, and then return to this shoulder. Do we call it reclaim order block now? Or call it mitigation, no, not mitigation block. Looks like a reclaim order block, although price in a way has already reclaimed whatever it is. Reclaim order block is simply price violating another block, right? And then instead of it turning to a breaker block, it violates that again, comes to the upside, something like this. So we are not confused. Everybody have a name for it here. Let's say this is another block. Yeah, price dug into it. Instead of becoming a breaker block to continue to the downside, came above, closed above, and then tapped into that same other block and then continue movement. All right. Some people call it Quasimodo, and there's a whole lot of names attached to it, but just for understanding. So price could come into this zone and then continue to push to the upside. However, for this particular setup, no much conviction. I would rather want to even look at it from the 4-hour time frame, because 4-hour time frame in a way now begins to give that conviction, because on the 4-hour time frame, this is a what's it called now? This other block has not been mitigated, still fresh, and then as a form of inducement underneath, right? And then if you're looking, probably 1:2-ish. 1:2-ish. Yeah, 1:2 kind of trade. So 1:2.5. Let's do this. 1:2.5. All right. And then allow price to tap into this and then continue its movement. Let's look at 30-minute time frame. Probably there's something we can see. Or no, it has been mitigated. This will have been a very good place to take our buys. But this area has been mitigated. Except if we want to use fair value gap, right? We want to take fair value gap here, which is really, really can be interesting, right? Where's this GAN to? Okay, this GAN box here. We want to use this fair value gap as our form of entry. Now, it can be in two ways. It can be in two ways, meaning we take the fair value gap, or we take this other block, this entire zone, and take it as our other block beneath, right? This entire zone. Or the fair value gap. Because what it is now is looking as though the market is has simply mitigated everything. Let me delete this GAN box. Right? This is 50%. Now this is 50%. And then what happens? Take this entry from here. 50% of the fair value gap, right? And then we expect that push to the upside. This is more refined entry. From 1:2, we are now 1:6.94. However, if you place your order above here, the chances of price of you getting filled is really almost 100%, right? But also, if you come here, can price come back to this zone? Maybe, maybe not. And also, this is looking as though it's a very significant level, because you have double fair value gap, right? On both sides. So this is looking as though it's really, really interesting. And then, of course, if you have this area, it covers even the other block. It covers even the other block. For those that might be looking for, really, really refined entry. So, but this will be like, for me, the ultimate, entry in terms of refinement, except if I want to go to 1 minute time frame to look for box pattern happening in 1 minute time frame, right? That has to be that you're on the charts to see when all of this happens, right? So this is it for me this morning. Let's look at the final one, which is US100. US100, we're also very, very much bullish in the market, right? Very, very much. Look at it. Price tapped into this zone and then push to the upside. You just need equity to play swing trading well, right? 1:2 is already good for you. I mean, if you had just placed the other here and everything, it's just days, and then not even money now. You need a broker with a very good account type, because if you are trading prop, you can't swing. This is one thing again for those that want to swing. When it comes to prop trading, I don't think you can swing effectively with US equities. I've tried it, and honestly, sometimes it's really, if the trade closed within that day cycle, it makes sense. But if you be holding, the commission can be very, very crazy. Can be very crazy. At the end of the day, by the time you hit your full TP, 50% will go to commission, right? So that's one thing to take note of. Of course, now it depends with the prop firm you're using, right? So especially if you are trading with funded next, this is specific to funded next, so I don't confuse people. On the daily time frame, we are bullish. On the 4-hour time frame on US100, that's Nasdaq, we are also bullish. This level has been mitigated, right? But I believe there's another block here, hidden other block here. This level has been mitigated. All the levels has been mitigated. And let me this break of structure. First break of structure and the final break of structure. The 1-hour time frame, let's look at what is happening. The 1-hour time frame, truly, all the levels has been mitigated. There's no hidden any other block here. Okay, except for this fair value gap also. Right? If we are going to use the box pattern entry to enter this market, this fair value gap looks as though the best option we have as to making money from this trade. Sweep, break to the downside, and then continuation. Just below here, and then and it's to 4. Okay, not bad. Let's look at 30-minute time frame. Hope we're not missing out something. Price has really mitigated this zone. Price mitigated everything here, and then it's pushing to the upside. So, but this fair value gap looks really interesting for our buy, right? Qualifies to give us that entry. We can see a weak rejection and then continuation to the upside, right? So this is what I'm looking out for today into next week. Today is already Thursday, into next week, and of course, except something significantly changes, this will remain my bias. We'll be looking at the markets. We expect more price action into New York session, and we can either realign our bias because you have to be flexible in this market, or we continue and stay in touch with what we have. All right, it's a good place to ask a question this morning. Do we have any questions so far? Anna, Ezekiel, Oni, Oluwaseyi, morning. Pips don't lie. We have the OGs in the house this morning. Do we have any question? Do you have any question? Do you have any question? Any gray area? Any contribution? Let me know in the chat box. Let me know in the chat box. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning. All right. All right. I'm seeing there's no question. All right. The absence of no question will be reconvened by 2 p.m. this afternoon for the New York market color session. And then also by that time, hopefully we can look into the other asset class, commodities, and the rest. This morning we'll just be having the US equities market, and hopefully we'll see how the markets react to all of this. Thank you so much for joining this morning. Again, Anna, Ezekiel, Mr. Oni, and Pips don't lie. Thank you for joining. We'll see you again by 2 p.m. I wish you all a profitable trading. Cheers and God bless, guys.